Right, so another first. We've an interview with the man known as Cathal Byrd. He's a former 69 kilo lifter, a former 77 kilo lifter, a former 85 kilo lifter, and now an encroaching 94 kilo lifter.
An 84 kilo Barry. I'm not.
How long are you lifting, Cathal?
Weightlifting around 6 years. General strength training since I was 14, so 25 now.
And
Maths. Not good at maths.
what are your best lifts?
Best lifts of all time are 120 in the snatch, 155 cable jerk, both on a training.
And what are your best competition lifts?
116 and 153.
And what are you training towards at the moment?
Not training towards any specific competition. I'm just training to try to get as strong as I physically can. Kind of a long-term goal is just to train as hard as I can for as long as my body will allow me, and just try to see what kind of weights I can throw up.
And what are your aims over the next year?
Over next year, so I moved up to the 85 kilo weight class this year. My aims for this year in competition will be somewhere between a 125, a 120, 125 snatch, and a 160 and 165 cable jerk.
Okay. And when's your next competition?
Next competition will be the Dublin Open, Saturday week, but my next big competition is the European Championships in April, so I'm looking forward to that.
And what training phase are you in at the moment?
Quite a high volume strength phase. Most of my training phases could be described as strength phase anyway. I just think as a weightlifter you should never shy away from strength work. But the volume is quite high at the moment because quite a few weeks out from the European Championships.
And they're trying to put on some weight.
I'm trying to add a bit of body weight as well, yeah. So I'm doing a bit of curl, bench press, that kind of thing. Things that weightlifters shouldn't do apparently. And I'm eating chocolate. A lot of chocolate. I'm not drinking though.
And you're Irish, it's okay.
Oh, we're great crack.
So Cathal, you've been weightlifting quite a long time, and again,
not really, 6 years.
Well, okay, 6 years. You're weightlifting a while then, and again, you'll have read some of the stuff down on the internet or in books and stuff. And do you think a lot of the weightlifting methodology that would be presented on websites and in books would be conducive to you improving as a weightlifter?
Me myself?
Yeah.
Right now, no. But over the last 6 years, for the most part, I've always been self-coached. And obviously, like most weightlifters, when they're starting out, they do a lot of research on books on the internet and to find out about how people train and try to adopt little things like that. And little things like that have helped me in the past, but not anymore.
Why not?
I've just kind of found what works for me. I used to think that the Bulgarian method was the way to go, like the majority of new lifters would have done at the very beginning. But I just found as a drug-free athlete, without coaching or guidance, it just led to a lot of injuries, staleness and frustration. So as time has gone on, I've just found my own path really.
Could you flex your bicep, please?
Could I?
Yes. Are you a drug-free athlete?
I am a drug-free athlete. If I'm on drugs or I've ever taken drugs,
should get his money
I would
back.
want to get a very quick refund because my strength levels would be embarrassing.
Do you have any sponsors?
I sponsored by Optimum Nutrition, supplement company, for the last couple of years. So they provide me with free product, and in return I do. So for any media coverage I get, I'd mention them, or internet stuff I'd mention them the odd time. So I'm very grateful to what they give me.
Well, for any weightlifters out there who are looking to get some kind of nutrition sponsor or a sponsor of any kind, is there any advice you give them?
It's up to yourself to go get it. They're not going to come to you in a non-mainstream sport. So get on the internet, send out some emails, make some phone calls. You never know, I might get lucky. The first time I tried to get sponsorship, I sent out emails to 4 or 5 different supplement companies and one got back to me. So yeah, it's up to yourself, so be proactive.
What different countries have you trained in, Cathal?
Trained in the Ukraine, so like Kevin Darcy, I've trained with Kevin Darcy in the Ukraine on 2 different occasions, learned a lot over there.
What were the main things you learned in the Ukraine?
Learned a lot about how important general hard work is in the sport of weightlifting. You have to put the work in. If you're not going to put the work in, you're not going to reap any benefits. So just kind of a very obdurate mindset, I suppose. Stubbornness, hard working, honest. Those kind of things really.
Well, a lot of people think that sometimes you have to go into the bells of Europe to learn how to weightlift. Do you think that's a necessity?
No, it's not. It's not necessary. But personally, it did help me a lot. You know, I was training in in a very nice gym, nice little atmosphere, but it wasn't really high performance atmosphere. So going there kind of opened my eyes a little bit as to what type of training you need to be doing to achieve your goals and to progress. So I don't believe you need to be going into.
So, if you in the Ukraine, it was more about mindset you learned rather than was it a technical? Was it more mindset than technique or programming?
I learned a lot about technique because the first time I went there, I was very new to the sport. I was lifting about 6 months when I went there. Very, very bad technique. I literally muscle snatched and muscle cleaned everything. Coaches were horrified the very first day I came, and they did a few tests on me. So I learned a lot in relation to technique the first time. But the second time, when my technique was a little better and a little more consistent, that was when I realised how important just general hard work and just digging deep. Sometimes you come into the gym, you feel very tired, but if you have an ultimate goal in mind, you can't give up. You just have to get in there and do it.
What is your ultimate goal?
My ultimate goal, I don't have any exact numbers in mind.
Squat 300.
Squat 300? That would be nice. Probably more realistic than snatching 130 at this stage.
I don't believe that for a second.
I don't have any numbers in mind. I just want to get stronger. Ever since I was really young, I've always had an interest in general, in strength sports in general, and strong people in general. And I just want to see how strong I can get. And that's in relation to snatch, clean and jerk, squats, pulls. Yeah, of course, as a drug-free lifter as well, you know, I'm just very interested to find out what kind of standard I can get to.
So where else did you lift aside from the Ukraine?
Trained in Scotland with Charlie Hamilton, Peter Kirkbride and all those guys.
And did you learn anything there?
I did. I learned the atmosphere there was very, very good. Again, much better than the atmosphere I'm used to most days of my own gym. So it was great to feed off the energy of the other lifters. That kind of pushed you on a lot. Trained in London with a few lifters, Chris Chia, David Woodhouse, a few others. Again, the atmosphere is fantastic there, really pushes you on. But in terms of training camps, no, I haven't trained anywhere else in
well, you've lifted in a lot of competitions. You've lifted
in
a World University a few times, a few Europeans, you lifted in a few Worlds. So
yeah.
You've been in an awful lot of training halls, and you've seen an awful lot of the top countries and top lifters and legendary world weightlifters. You trained beside Mutlu one time. What are some of the most impressive things you've ever seen in any of the training halls you've been in?
The most impressive thing I've ever seen, I wouldn't say anything too impressive because most of the lifters are on a taper, but the most impressive things I've seen would have been the World Championship that I was at most recently in Paris. The Iranian super heavyweight, is it Salimi? Is that his name?
Yeah.
4 fighters out from competition, he was attempting a max snatch of 200 kilo. I just thought that was impressive just to see in the training hall. Wasn't getting too psyched up about it. It was quite normal for him to be attempting this weight. It was really, really cool to see up close and personal, you know. Yeah, it's funny. Things you kind of take notice of in the training hall when you're watching the top guys is just how professional they are. They take their time warming up, a lot of bar work, a lot of time spent with 40 and 50 kilo. And it's only when they feel as if they're ready, they're moving well and fluidly that they actually move the weight up. So those kind of things I've kind of taken on board and adapted it in my own training.
Who's your favourite weightlifter of all time?
Favourite weightlifter of all time is a guy called Peter Tanev, who represented Bulgaria. And I think he also represented Qatar.
Why am I shaking my head?
I don't know, why are you shaking your head?
What was his technique then?
Oh, he just ripped it. I just liked his no-nonsense approach. He just ripped the bar, ripped it. I wouldn't call it a pretty lifter or technical lifter, but he was fast, he was powerful, he was strong. Just great to watch. Like I like watching lifters who, you know, they're going to actually shake the room when they lift. You know,
who's your favourite current contemporary lifter?
Favourite lifter at the moment will be Kendrick Ferris.
Why?
I just like how strong he is. I like his style. Yeah, I just his training style is kind of would be seen as maybe a little bit unconventional by weightlifting standards. So I just kind of like the way he's doing things a little bit differently. Make himself very, very strong. Again, he's not a wouldn't be classed as a technician as such. He's very, very good technique, but he's very much a strength lifter. And I just like that style.
And any last imparting, or any last advice to be imparted on the young beginning weightlifters out there? What's the most important lesson you learned in weightlifting?
The most important lesson I learned in weightlifting is that you can never be too strong.
Birdie, just when we finish off there, what motivates you to be a weightlifter? Why are you actually a weightlifter?
Why am I a weightlifter?
Why are you a weightlifter?
I love progressing. I love doing things that I have never done before, because when you make little PBs, it's down to you. It's down to your own hard work. There's nobody else to blame if it goes wrong. There's nobody else to congratulate or to take the accolades when it goes right. So it's a very personal sport, personal journey, and I just, in my own opinion, I have a lot of internal motivation. There's no better feeling than making progress, and all that progress is down to the hard work that you yourself have put in, day in, day out, over weeks, months and years. It's just very self-fulfilling. That's why I'm a weightlifter.
Kev, just sit over there for a minute.
You're the boss, Barry?
Yeah.
Kevin.
Move!
Boss man, Barry Kenslow.
Kev, why are you a weightlifter? Why are you still weightlifting?
Why am I still weightlifting?
Yeah.
Everything that Birdie has said to me makes perfect sense. As we just spoke there, I've been telling you about how when I was younger, I've often said that I would much rather make a PB in the gym on my own, with nobody there to see it, with no picture, no video, no record ever happened. But I know I lifted weight that I didn't lift the week before.
Sounds like an Irish Nationals, isn't it?
Do what?
Sounds like an Irish Nationals.
An Irish Nationals.
I'd much rather do that than win a medal and not make a PB. At the moment I have some external motivations. We all know what they are. Greedy bastard, that's me, yeah. Fat too. But like that, for me it's always been about progress, and I'm coming to the end now. I don't know that I have many years of progress left ahead of me, but I intend to make as many as I can while I can, and for that reason I've suspended my studies. I'm going full time for the next few months to get as much out of my training as I can, and when the weightlifting aspect of my life is done, I'm going to make progress in other areas and concentrate just as hard on those.
Cathal Byrd. Everything I just said there was complete bullshit. This is why I'm a weightlifter. Plain and simple.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Ladies love big guns.
An answering pose, Kevin.
Cathal Byrd.
Oh, sorry.